Welcome, everybody, to the X8 VRML Season 1 North American Semifinals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, and in today's pre-show, we're going to go over what is at stake this afternoon in our semifinals tournament for Season 1. And it is a lot at the end of the day. It's an exciting time to be an X8 fan. It's an exciting time to be tuning in to some what is going to be high-quality X8 action here this afternoon. For those that don't know what this is, X8 is a 5 versus 5 hero shooter, much like Valorant, but in virtual reality. Players have abilities that they can buy with credits that they earn by winning rounds and getting kills. That's at the base what these players are doing. Each team is trying to plant at one of two objectives. We have a system for map pick and bans, but it has been 11 or 12 weeks of regular season gameplay, meaning that these teams have been playing over the course of that regular season, getting matched each week against an opponent by VRML. They've been going up against that opponent, and if they win, they go up in rank, and if they lose, they go down in rank. A few weekends ago, we took the top 8 teams from the regular season in North America and pitched them up against each other in a double elimination tournament. It's been multiple weekends now to get to this point to where we are today. And it is an exciting one. It is the semifinal series to kick us off, and it's Eternity versus Eclipse. Eternity and Eclipse have battled through multiple weekends of postseason action. Eternity beating both Heaven's Gardens to kick things off with round 1, and then Acer in round 2 remain undefeated through the postseason phase, as do Eclipse, beating Rakuzen in round 1 and then Wrecked in round 2. Comparable upsets, in my opinion. I expected Acer and Wrecked, to be honest with you, in the semifinals. But who knows what we're going to see here this afternoon with Eternity and Eclipse. One of these teams if they win, will advance on to the grand finals, where they guarantee a trip out to VRML Con. They get to play their grand finals live on stage in front of an audience, where you can buy tickets to the event right now if you go to vrmlcon.com. And on the other end, Eclipse, battling out for a chance as well. One of these teams making it. The second series, Rekt and Acer, is up later today, 6 p.m. PST. We'll be jumping into that series then, and that's the loser's bracket. So the loser there is eliminated. The winner moves on to another series that gets played out tomorrow against the loser of this series, Eternity versus Eclipse, which is where I want to focus our attention on for this pre-show, because this is the match that's coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Eternity X versus Eclipse. The last time Eclipse went up against Eternity, a 3-map decider, taking it 22-12. I anticipate us to get 3 maps this afternoon, quite frankly. I have no idea who's going to come out on top. You're looking at the top 4 at the end of the day with this final 4 that we have. Between the semifinals and the losers bracket, it is Acer at number 1, Eclipse number 2, Rekt number 3, Eternity number 4. And those are our 1, 2, 3, 4 for the semifinals and losers bracket. So it's the best of the best, like I said, of the regular season. And so it's hard to really know what we're going to get when the pressure's on. And with $1,000 in cash for split between first, second, and third, of course, and regions, I think. I don't know. I have to look at that split, actually. Hold on. I have it right here in front of me. Yeah, 1,000 split between first and second in North America. We didn't have a prize pool for EU this season. There's only 2 teams, but anyway, a reasonable prize pool on top of HyperX gear coming in from our HyperX sponsorship. So a big shout out to HyperX and Third Verse for, of course, sponsoring the VRML and providing in that $1,000 in cash to the prize pool, on top of flying out the top 2 North American teams to play their grand finals live at VRML Con. An incredible opportunity that we're really appreciative from our sponsors, and Third Verse definitely a big element in that. So a big shout out to them. But that's what's at the stake here, and so the pressure on the line, we could see a bit of a different performance coming in from these squads. It may not be the regular season back and forth that we have had, and we have seen upsets. Like I said, Acer, the number 1 seed, undefeated through regular season, losing for the first time all season long to Eternity in round 2 of the postseason. They went up against Rikuzen and won 2-0 pretty handedly. And so now their next matchup, Rekt and Acer, very interested to see how that goes, but Eternity defeating them, it was an upset, to be fair, and we now have essentially 2 upsets. The 2 lower seeds in the series. Actually, no, Rekt was lower seed from Eclipse. Eternity was lower seed than Acer, though. We have seed 4 versus seed 2 in the semifinals, essentially, and I anticipate again great clutch moments this afternoon. You're seeing through some of these clips over the course of what has been, again, multiple weekends of X8. Some really great plays, great utility use, great dash plays, big multi-kills coming in, and I expect us to have a lot of fun this afternoon between Eternity and Eclipse. A reminder, Rekt and Acer coming up later at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. That series will start. For now, we have a best of 3 in front of us, though, with Eternity and Eclipse. I know in EU we just did a best of 5. We're not into the best of 5 yet. Best of 5 is for the grand finals. And so it is still best of 3s, and so we could be out of here in 2 maps. At the end of the day, Eternity and Eclipse, this could be done in 2 if one of these teams is able to take it away just like that. So it's the excitement of the unknown. I think if I'm looking at postseason performance, I'm leaning towards Eternity, to be honest. Going up against Acer and defeating them is a big standout moment in my eyes, and I feel like Rekt, while comparable as an opponent, I don't know. Eclipse had a hard time going up against Rekt too, winning 2-1 as well. So I lean slightly towards Eternity just based off of how they performed against the seed of opponent that they went up against. So, Eclipse struggling against a lower seed, Eternity beating a higher seed, essentially is where my vote comes down to. So don't Don't get upset about what I pick here, but I'm thinking Eternity and Eclipse for I think Eternity, for the winning of this series. Semifinals, however, though, and again, the loser goes down to the loser's bracket. The loser of today will play tomorrow against the winner of Wrecked versus Acer. So I guess no real easy series coming up for either of these, for any team, regardless of if you win or lose. But yeah, it's an exciting afternoon, and I do have to go to a brief break. It'll be about 12 minutes time for when we come back for map number 1 of Eternity versus Eclipse. Again, 12-minute time roughly, so get your popcorn, get your drinks, get ready for a exciting series. Get ready for a solid night of X8 action. Quite frankly, the best X8 that we'll be able to deliver to you. So do be sure to tune in. Don't go anywhere. X8 Season 1 NA semifinals coming up.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Drill is right on top of it.
And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from hit to the EMP inside.
Sleeper trying to shoot in.
Oh my god! No! That's 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Drill is right on top of it.
And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from hit to the EMP inside.
Sleeper trying to shoot in.
Oh my god! No! That's 5, 4, 3.
Welcome, everybody, to the VRML X8 Season 1 NA Semifinals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I'm joined by my co-caster, Yellow Hat, for the top of the X8 Mountain with Eternity versus Eclipse in the winners semifinals bracket. Yellow Hat, how are you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. We got some great X8 teams coming up, and a lot of the members of these teams do play in other facets of VRML as well. So it's good to see some familiar faces and some newer faces as well. So I'm sure the action is going to be pretty amazing, irregardless. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you on the desk with us this afternoon. It's Eternity versus Eclipse. They're in lobby, ready to go for our first map of the afternoon on Nautica. Look at that map history here. You can see a middle of the road for both squads, with Eternity a little bit lesser on the percentage there, 53%, but played it plenty so far this season. In comparison, 91 rounds for Eclipse, with a bit of a stronger win rate there. So if we're going to lean anywhere, I guess you would lean Eclipse. But again, I saw Eternity beat Acer, who was undefeated through the postseason and regular season until they went up against Eternity. And so it's I don't know what to expect, quite frankly, this afternoon, Yellow Hat. I mean, you're talking, like you said, about a lot of players that are coming with a lot of experience just playing VR competitively.
For sure. You're talking a 53% win rate versus a 62% win rate on this map. I mean, it really is anybody's game. It's looking like so far. I mean, sure, Eternity have played
series.
it more, but Eclipse have won on it more, but I mean, again, 2 evenly matched teams, anything can happen. So it's sure to be interesting, to say the least. I don't know that I have a clear winner at this moment.
Yeah, I'm basing my knowledge off the last few weekends that we've commentated of, and again, watching Eternity climb through their winners bracket so far has been impressive. Like you said, I think we're assured good games here today, and quite frankly, I think it might be the best X8 that we'll be able to watch all season long. Coming up here today, later tonight, and tomorrow, as we do get ready to dive into our first map of the afternoon on Nautica. And again, the win rate's leaning into the favor of Eclipse. Eclipse starting on the attacking half, with Eternity starting on the defense to kick off our opening map.
Yeah, I mean, Nautica is actually one of the newer maps of X8. I remember playing some of the more original maps, but it's cool to see that they're expanding the map roster or whatnot. And so, having a look at, both these rosters, I'm recognizing Mindbaker, Dynamite, Proof, Ace, and then over on the Eclipse side, I think I know Big Mac and Hazmat, but all of these players in here are going to be really, really good. And so kind of looking at the team comps here, it is pretty standard. People used to play Shinya way back in the day. He's more known for insane melee capabilities, but I believe we're seeing less of that. But ultimately, I mean, both team comps here are looking pretty standard. So we're actually going to be getting into it. Initial shots going on to Sleet, actually taking a lot of damage there, getting down to 13 HP here. And Sleet trying to look for some shots. Ace actually going down to 12. And then we, of course, see somebody there as the meta class helping up
Trev, I believe. Oh, my.
Proof. Yeah, the immediate, what's it called, coming out from Proof there.
Hero ability.
Gonna be getting them the immediate kill, and we actually do see Ace getting recovered a little bit, Waffle getting recovered, so Medic there having to do a lot of work, and only 55 seconds left in this first round here, and both teams really just trying to vie for some map control here, but Eclipse kind of still stuck towards the middle area there, not really, I guess trying to regroup there and trying to see, what they can do here. But it's going to be tough. They're very much at the man disadvantage and the health disadvantage. 30 seconds left. We do have some
it does look
shot.
like we're getting a rotation over to Ace side here, and so we'll see how this push comes through. It's a nice opening from Ace up over the top, able to find one. Big Mac with a refrag through the smoke wall. They'll pick up a second. The double kill coming in. The swing around this corner there from Bent. They go down to Waffle again for the third. as they get the siphon down. They're not going to be able to get it in time. A headshot and a trade on site leaves Dynamite alone with 100 HP and the only one left alive. And if that's ever an indicator of how this series is going to be going, I think it's right there. One player left alive, and map 1 opening things up with some exciting pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, I think we even had a knife kill there at that last end, if I was reading the kill feed there correctly. But we saw a nice mix of the starting pistol as well as the Desert Eagle there. I believe it was Ace or somebody that had that. So one of my more favorite weapons to use in this game. But nevertheless, round number 2, and
Ooh,
you know,
that dart's going to gather some info there as the push is going to come in fast and steady. The hero ability out, so if they go down, they will respawn back around the corner, and you can see the push coming in from Waffle will catch Mindbaker on the respawn just in time, and a nice opening move there from Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, kind of waiting around with Shinny there. Sleet actually picking up the kill on the Bent, and this second round is not going well for Eternity, and actually looking pretty great for Eclipse there, and they actually wind up getting the kill, and Eclipse is going to take that second round.
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it. 5 kills coming through in a matter of seconds there, and couldn't quite keep up as we're tied 1-1 for Eclipse. A very solid move through. You see that smoke come up, the smoke wall being utilized nicely. The tracking dart initially getting good info, and a nice move coming in from Sleet, so using that hero ability for the respawn on the backside, but ultimately not coming in with enough kills or really any information to act off of. A nice refrag from Waffle to really get that whole round going, and that's when the push really started to crack open. Now it looks like a bit of a shift of attention from A to B could be coming in here from Eclipse.
For sure. And so now we're of course gonna see how both these teams are adapting. Is it looks like both of them are gonna be on at least SMGs or a full buy here. Another great part of X8, the fact that it actually has a pretty complex economy system in addition to all the abilities and whatnot there. So I'm seeing at least a couple SMGs and whatnot, and so it's looking like Eclipse do want to lean over towards B. They have to Sleet actually, again, blink and miss. Sleet gonna be taken out, uses their ult to at least get the info. Ace gonna be picking up a couple, but Hazmat trades Dan out there, and actually Groove coming in with the hero ability there onto Big Mac, and now a 2v3 versus Eclipse as they're trying to hold on to B site. The Vesper wall and the Vesper smoke both still up, but those have slowly faded away. 40 seconds left. Nade's coming, or Molly coming out from Waffle there, as Waffle's going to take out Proof. Now a 2-on-2. Still
nice
trying to
turn
hold.
There. Hazmat shutting down that track and dart from gathering info. The turret doing a little bit of extra help, and Waffle swings in for a double kill to lock in Eclipse. 2 points on the opening set here. Map 1 kicking things off nicely, and what a good back and forth. Eclipse certainly waking up off of a bit of a unsteady opening pistol round, and you got to be careful if you're on Eternity's side here. You can't let this start to snowball. To your point on the economy management side, they're getting extra money for these round wins, so it does all sort of lead into the possibility of continuous round wins and more, being able to buy all your heal abilities, seeing all those abilities utilized, and it may be why we even are seeing some of these pushes come in so strong and fast, as we do see an aggressive push up out the gate from Ace, and they'll get punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, these opening picks going the way in favor of Eclipse. I mean, that's got to be really good for them. We see a very low Vesper wall coming up, maybe a little bit of a misplace there. Bent picking off one, Mindbaker also picking off one, but Big Mac getting the refrag onto Mindbaker here as as Eclipse is looking to take the site. But unbeknownst to both the Eternity players, we had somebody over on Eclipse trying to sneak through the Vesper smokes there. Not going to be, they're going to be backing off there.
Double pylons coming down. Both players stuck inside him. Bent's the one that comes out on top. Still utilizing the smoke to their advantage. Going to try and pop out of it. Not ready for the tight corner from G Big Mac. And now it's up to Dynamite, who is rotating on the back side and is going to try and hit both the Big Mac and Sleet. So exposed. Armor's down, 90 HP, 100 HP, and with a pistol in hand, they're not going to have much success. There's the economy impacting Dynamite, not having the utility they need to be able to properly challenge the 1v2, and another round into Eclipse's hands, 3-1.
Yeah, but as most games with economies have, you know, what some may refer to as the blue shell effect. The more rounds you lose in a row, the more you're starting to the more money you start to accrue. And so we see, Ace originally on 5,000, they're able to, fold by everybody on Eternity, able to fold by now. So it's looking like we're actually going to have, a full force coming out from both of these teams. We see the little sentry over in the corner. Proof once again charging up that hero ability, trying to see if maybe they can get that early pick. We do have a little bit of damage there coming out on the Trev and Waffle, but that'll get quickly healed up. Ace able to pick off Sleet and is going to be able to fall back.
Here comes the ult. A charge through up into B site. Challenging over the top. Waffle goes down to Proof. No longer going to be able to push in through B as a pylon goes down quickly. Getting shot at by the duo back here. Here comes the flank on the backside from Mindbaker. They have to pinch sooner or the rest of their team is going to go down. The smoke wall denying some vision, but Mind and Ace connect onto both their kills they need. It leaves Big Mac alone in a 1v2, trying to clutch up another round for the team as a tracking dart is going to gather information on them in that back corner.
Yeah, but if he can isolate his face, as we just saw there, Big Mac able to take out the Eternity player. Now he's forced into a 1v1, and he has a bit of a head peek here that Ace has to kind of worry about. Now, the objective has not been planned at this point. They try to trade shots back and forth. 35 seconds left. Still nothing happening. The sentry does go down, and Big Mac's going to take a little bit of space, but Ace reacts just quickly enough, gets the headshot, and Eternity going to be able to take their second round, a much-needed round for them.
Much needed. That was a risky snowball moment there. I think that was a big investment coming in from Eternity on that round. Like you said, they were able to get their consecutive loss money, but they spent it all, and I guess you'll get that back if you continue to lose, but still, it is, there's the risk there if you lose that you don't get anything in return, and so a solid win to come out and ultimately stop Eclipse from snowballing. Their economy is still fine, even off of a loss there, because they put a couple of consecutive wins together, but still, should be a interesting, maybe a bit slower attempt here from Eclipse going into round 6 now after losing that last one.
For sure. And so again, both these teams, they still have a good amount of money, but Ace gets taken out rather quickly there over in the middle section there. Not going to be a good start. And Big Mac taking out yet another player. 5 versus 3 on this site take now, and they are going to be able to get the plant. Brent does get the kill, and Proof also gets taken out. Bent does get taken out, and once again now Dynamite in a 1 versus 4 right now.
Yeah. And
he's actually going to be playing time, as it looks like we had a player drop, maybe a player swap or something as we go into this next round. But Typhon does get planted, and nevertheless, it's looking like Eclipse pretty much just going to take this round. Dan probably just going to save the rifle that they're holding on to and try to keep their team's economy as afloat as they possibly can.
Yeah, another round into Eclipse's hands as they're likely to go up 4-2 here, unless a miraculous comeback from Dan. And to your point also, maybe buying time for their teammate to hopefully reconnect quickly into this second map. And they are back. I don't think there was any swapping out of players, but they're back in time for the round to start, which is when you need to be in here. And the last round of the half. So after this round, we swap sides, reset economies, go back into a pistol round, and Eclipse will defend while Eternity will attack. I mean, what are your thoughts on the attacking versus the defending side favor? Is it very prevalent on Nautica? Or maybe, it's hard to really say, honestly, in my opinion. I've seen it go both ways in the cast that I've had.
Yeah, I think it really just kind of depends on, what your team comp is and, who's got ults, what ults can you combine. And, ultimately, even when it just comes down to the gunplay itself, Eclipse are just getting the opening picks that they need. And the more, a trade over on the attacking side is way more valuable than, a trade on the defending side. You lose a defender that is, if that is infinitely better for the other team versus, if the attackers lose one, they can still group up and do their thing, but, you're splitting up the defense there, and that makes life infinitely harder. But we do see, nevertheless, we do see a B play coming in. Waffle going to be picking off Dynamite right away. Thought he could win that, but Proof able to get the refrag. Mindbaker does get taken out. Proof going for a second, but gets taken out by Hazmat. A 2 versus 3 right now, and both these players stuck behind a Vesper Smoke, etc. Ben picks up one, but Hazmat able to get that refrag again. And Eclipse just doing such a good job, but Ben picks up another one, and just like that, Eclipse pick up their 5th round.
Chaos unfolding in the final round of the half, to say the least, but a exciting exchange of abilities and ultimately avoidance of them. I mean, a really brave crash across that immolation, across that zoning nade there, getting through, running past it to catch that angle onto the backside of Hazmat. And then the ability, the hero ability coming in from Sleet So for the res, just in case if they did go down in that trade, they still would have had a 1v1 left ahead of them because they would have respawned in that back corner and then been able to challenge. So really nice job from Eclipse. They're up 5-2 and pretty dang close to locking in a map 1 win. Oh, and look at that hero ability coming in. I think that was from Hazmat on the other side. Everyone getting chunked apart big time by that damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's... thankfully for the Eternity side of things, nobody actually was killed in that exchange, but, losing all that health, I mean, thankfully they do have the medic player on their team. Proof actually going to be taking a lot of instant damage, as we just saw there. And it's looking like one of the Eclipse players do want to get aggressive, and they get a little bit of damage off, and Waffle actually able to pick off Mindbaker there, and is going to be able to fall back. Sleet picking up another kill with a beautifully placed headshot, and just like, what?
I guess it's worth it. Proof finds a double kill, a triple if you count it, because they also kill themselves and lock in a round win. A nice hold, to say the least, and 6-2 now for Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, Eclipse now on an anti-eco here, meaning that, they're going to have SMGs, they're going to have armor, and, those weapons are going to be given a little bit more money towards their eco, and just, are way better against players that don't have armor, which in the case of Eternity, because they need to save their money, they're dealing with that. But that doesn't mean that Eternity is completely screwed over here. Sleet does pick off Ben and is able to pick up Ace, so maybe spoke a little bit too soon, but a well-placed headshot from a Desert Eagle, or any sort of ability there could really help. And we have a really awkward fight happening there, and Sleet picking up yet a third.
Crashing in around Proof, who's battling back against what is a confident Eclipse offense now. Up 7-2, and we head to map point for map 1 in this best of 3. A shout out to everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action. We do appreciate you. And yeah, we don't see it, but they're also buying hero abilities too on top of everything else.
Man. I mean, 2-7, you're down, you're at match point. I mean, Eclipse feeling pretty confident. They are probably the more favored team, considering that they are second place as opposed to fourth. But even then, I mean, as you mentioned, Eternity, they took a map off Acer, right?
They did. They took a series off of Acer, putting them down into the losers bracket, and definitely having a hard time against Eclipse, which is an impressive, I think, feat for Eclipse, because that means that they could potentially defeat Acer as well. But hey, nothing's written in stone yet. Eternity are still here to fight. We're into a 3v2 now, and they're rotating over to put a Siphon down onto site.
Yeah, I mean, Dynamite and Bent there both having a really nice double peek there that catches the one Eclipse player off guard, and so the Siphon does get planted. Bent still has, the ability to heal their teammates, so it's going to make the defense here a little bit better, but they are actually out in the corner. Dynamite does pick off Trev, and they're going to find that last player. Mindbaker going to be picking up Big Mac, and Eternity are not out of this one yet. They pick up their third round.
I mean, it's crazy, because from here on out, every point is map point until it's 7-7 for Eternity. So you talk about pressure, you talk about having your best of 3 start off rough. It's what you want to avoid the most. And so if anything, just getting a few more points is the goal for Eternity here. A 5-8 loss is better to go into that second map than a 3-8 loss, just momentum-wise, energy-wise, just because you've been able to slow Eclipse down a little bit and not let them kind of run through at least one map into the next. That's the real big thing. You have to prevent that transfer of momentum. And so they're doing that right now by denying them some extra rounds and maybe even putting more on the table here as they do crash nicely into side as a unit using that ult for the extra speed. A beautiful double kill from Proof connects as their hero ability finds its target. Ace picks up another, can't get the double. Sleet able to pick up a kill, but it's a 2v4.
Yeah, it's looking like they're Eternity trying to get that siphon down, and they know roughly where both players are going to be from.
Ooh,
Proof does get
flash.
taken out by Sleet. Very nice flash, as you mentioned, and now a 2 versus 3 potential retake situation coming out here from Eclipse. The other two Eternity players not on site are a little bit further back, but Bent takes out Trev, and now a 1 versus 3 for Sleet, who gets spotted, does land the first headshot onto Bent. Needs to find the second one. What is going on? We actually see. We seen a.
I thought Dynamite was T-posing up there, and I thought they may be bugged out, but they were, of course, planting the siphon. That's what you got to do. You got to T-pose when you're planting the siphon, and so they get it down on the other site.
When your play is so good, it even tricks the casters. That's how you know. It was a good rotate, but Dan maybe getting a little bit too far away from sight here. Sleet has to look everywhere and anywhere to try to figure out where Dan is. A 1 versus 1 situation. Oh, and he picks up Dan anyways.
A huge kill. And yeah, to your point, an interesting bit of exposure there from Dan. They didn't need to be looking at the objective per se. They could have waited for the defuse to come in and then turned for that kill to have the advantage on having their back to them. So a good move from Sleet to go and hunt for that kill, as they did extend all the way out into that alleyway, and a nice clutch for Sleet to also get MVP on the series. Eclipse take one map in this best of 3, and well, map 2 is series map for them. If they win that, they'll take this series in 2 maps, Yellow Hat. And I mean, a strong opening to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that does go on to Sleet. I mean, if you caught the what's it called, the scoreboard at the end there, I believe they were 22-5 or something like that. I mean, miles ahead of the rest of everybody. A lot of people on Eternity sitting at, maybe like 3-4 kills. I think one player had like 12 or something like that. But even that, I mean, that's still, a massive shout out for Sleet there on that game one. Definitely deserving of that MVP for that game. Again, 22-5. I mean, they were just having a field day, and that could be a possibility for game number 2 here.
It could be indeed. Eternity need to regroup here off of a bit of a rough start on Nautica. It does make me wonder, match history, we do look at it. Eclipse have beat Eternity. The last time they went up against them, they did win in the best of 3 series in a third map, 22-12. Nautica, not Eternity's best map. Eclipse have that percentage advantage. Map number 2, let's find out, is going to be Depot. And we can very clearly see a preference on both sides, although Eternity have more rounds played on it.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at their match history, I mean, Eternity, the only time they beat Eclipse on a map there was on Midtown, where they won 8-6. But I mean, Nautica, it's Eclipse beat Eternity 8-2 last time they played. So, perhaps it was a bit expected. But even then, I mean, Eclipse, they've played Depot once. And let's check out Eternity here while we're at it. Eternity have played Depot 4 times and won it 3 times. So
seeing some cheering going on in chat, and a shout out to everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action. We do appreciate you stopping by, hanging out, and watching what has so far been some great X8. Eclipse definitely stepping up to the plate in their battle against Eternity here in the semifinals. The winner here in this best of 3 advances on to VRML Con, Yellow Hat. And I mean, let's talk a little bit about it. I know I'm excited about it. How are you feeling about the upcoming convention? You'll be
very excited for sure. I mean, it's going to be a great event with a lot of, the top VR esports players. This is only, I believe, the 3rd time that, or actually, no, 4th time in, the entirety of VR history that there has been, an in-person tournament event for VR esports. So, some of these players looking for that chance to really cement their names in VR history. I mean, when you really think about it, that is, something that I'm sure a lot of these players that, are fighting top 4 are going to be, looking to do. So it's going to be a really fun event, looking forward to seeing everybody there. I'm sure it's going to be a blast, and, what a great location too. Going to be in Denver, Colorado, July 20th to the 21st.
Yep.
And, I can't say enough good about it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be in a super hyped time. We've got a lot of exciting stuff out there. 1 versus 1. Pavlov booth, finals for other seasons for VRML. A showcase, to say the least. And a great place to meet up with all your community friends and get to meet all the people that you've been playing against for so long. Does look like we're ready to go. And so I've given the teams the ready to go for map number 2 on Depot. It looks like we are going to have Eclipse starting on defense and Eternity on attack for our first map. And I don't think I'm seeing any subs coming in on either side. An interesting note, but I guess at the end of the day, you're only able to fly out 5 players to the convention. If you can get your subs to come, then great. But I guess maybe just trying to hone in the top 5, not really necessary to bring in any subs for Depot at least. And it does look like we are ready to jump in to our second map of the afternoon. And again, a shout out to everyone stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the X8 the VRML action so far. It has been, delivering at a high level, to say the least, and a lot of fun to tune into over the course of these last few weekends. These teams, they're coming in with a lot of dedication. You look at those match histories, they've been playing every map, every series every week, battling against equally skilled opponents, and it's exciting to see what that hones at the end of the day. That's what really the postseason is. You get to see what all of that work over the regular season has got you.
For sure. And kind of looking at, I was doing a little bit further digging on the match history here.
Yeah.
Eternity, they beat Acer on Depot 8-3. So definitely an interesting little fact to know. And it'll be interesting to see, they're starting off on the offense. And, we'll see, maybe, kind of what they're able to pull off here again. So Eclipse have a very interesting setup. I don't think we have any major character changes here. Any actually,
right.
on the Eternity side, I don't see any. What's his name? What's his name that has the little electric gun? Yeah.
Yeah, in the book. Yeah, I know you're talking about the character that Big Mac is on right now. And a little bit of a lag spike there. We do apologize on the spectator side at the least. As we do dive in, Hazmat flies around using their hero ability to find their first kill. Crashing into sight, Siphon already planted. The retake at hand for Eclipse, who are defending, again, Eternity on the attack. And Eternity coming off of a tough loss map 1. Need to set the pace here, and it very much seems like they're trying to do that with a very fast Siphon plant. A quick swing takes Bent down as the pylon does go down to defend from that retake, but a quick destruction of that pylon leaves the Ace alone in a 1v4.
Yeah, and as before I can even say it, a 30 HP Ace versus 4 full health Eclipse players. Not really looking too favorable for them. But Eclipse are able to get that first defense round. They're able to win that piss round, so they're going to be economically ahead for right now. We do see, I believe, a couple rifles and a couple SMGs coming out. Everybody over on Eclipse making sure that they are stacked on their abilities at this point. But overall, a good start from them. They kept it back. They even kind of let Eternity get a little bit of sight control just to get that Siphon down, and then just a really well-executed retake is what we just saw there.
Into round 2 we go. And map to what could be the series decider. If Eclipse can win here in our second map of the afternoon, they will advance on to play in VRML Con in the grand finals.
Yeah, so Eternity looking like they want to go over towards the A site here. Bent does get taken out right away, and we actually have one player who's trying to get up close, but Waffle going to be shutting down Mindbaker there. Ace able to get the kill onto Hazmat. I believe there was a Shinya kill there. Not sure if there was their main ability, but it was a melee kill nevertheless. A lot of going back and forth through the Jesper wall there. Dynamite gets taken out by Sleet, and now Proof in a 1 versus 4, similar to what we saw last round, but is going to get taken out there by Trev with a very well placed Desert Eagle headshot, if I might say so.
And this is starting to get a little bit dangerous for the likes of Eternity. They could be looking at going down into the losers bracket. If they lose this map, they have to play tomorrow against the winner of Wrecked versus Acer, which is a game that'll be coming up later tonight. 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST is when that is scheduled for. So if you are interested, do be ready to tune in to that series as well. It is on the YouTube channel. The thumbnail is up, and so should be able to prepare for it, to say the least. But that's going to be another great series. Wrecked and Acer. I felt like that was my prediction for semifinals, but it ends up being an, interestingly enough, losers bracket round.
For sure, but as we get into the third round here, looking like both teams are going to be, SMGs, rifles, full economy. And once again, Eternity looking to go over towards the B site. Mindbaker taking a little bit of damage initially on Sleep, picking up both players over towards B short there, as the rest of Eclipse, or the rest of Eternity, excuse me, trying to get onto site. Sleep picking up a third as Ace picks
it's
up
a
one.
quadra!
And now Sleet on par for the Ace still, but Waffle going to be taking the Ace by killing the Ace. Pun totally intended, and that Siphon is going to get defused. Eclipse picking up yet another round. It's looking like they are just, on a roll. They're really solid on this defense, and they are just kind of, it's kind of a steamroll almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's Eclipse looking good. Their postseason performance has been strong. They beat Wrecked 2-1 in what was a very competitive series, but they beat them nonetheless. So you're coming off that. It's kind of a strong win. Comparatively, I felt Eternity would be able to ride the momentum off of an Acer W, but maybe it was just Eternity having a really good series. Maybe it was just Acer having a bad day, or I can't. We'll find out, I guess. We'll see if Eternity can bounce back here off of a bit of a rough start. They still have plenty of rounds to go, even in this half. As they are on the attacking side. Waffle, though, does open things up nicely. They're Shin very effective all postseason long, quite frankly.
And Big Mac able to pick off the Ace there. Proof, though, does get the headshot onto Sleet, so I believe going to be able to pick up that rifle. But something Eclipse are really doing well is not only are they getting the opening picks that they need, as Dynamite does go down there as well, but at the same time, I mean, they're doing it and they're not getting contested. They're not getting traded out by an Eternity member. So just that fact alone is really putting Eclipse ahead. And so, Mindbaker and Proof trying to make something happen here, but a 2 versus 4, 2 players over on the Eclipse side, 3 players, I believe, already have their ults. So, really anything can happen. But we do see the one player on Eclipse kind of, hiding out in the corner there. You got to wonder if they're even going to get checked. 35 seconds left.
Oh.
Siphon's going to try to go down, but Big Mac pulls out, and again, going to be going uncontested. Going to be sending off the scanning eye as Hazmat able to pick up the kill just like that. Eclipse 4-0, just like that.
Far more than just Hazmat there, as you saw a triangle of fire coming in onto the lone survivor of Eternity. And yeah, this is really momentum running away with it, as Eclipse do a very solid job on defense. It is their defensive half, though, and that's, of course, important to be reminiscent of, in that, we sometimes do see, after a side swap, a much better performance from the team on the other side. And so maybe when Eternity get their chance on the defense, they can have a bit better go of it, but they will want at least 1 or 2 attacking rounds. locked in here to make it so that it doesn't come down to the pistol round when they side swap.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, you know, Eclipse are just doing a really good job of, you know, getting the opening fights and, again, just going uncontested, really. I mean, if Eternity were able to get more trades just like that, Trev picks off the kill on Dan, they get a wall up, Eternity not able to get the refrag there, and that's going to, you know, put them at a severe disadvantage. But Proof is able to get that refrag, as I say that, onto Trev. Hazmat goes down as well to Mindbaker, but Sleet able to get that refrag. 3 versus 3, Bent on very low HP, but the other 2 members of Eternity, you know, still solid on HP there. We do see them converging over towards the A site as Waffle picks off Bent, which was the low health player, so not, you know, not too much of a loss, but still the fact that a player down is, you know, as some might say, a glass cannon is still a cannon. So even if you're low HP, you can still make things happen. But it's looking like Mindbaker and Proof are wanting to go for the rotate yet again, but might get caught up by Shenya, who actually does go back over to the A, which interestingly enough, we don't have any Eclipse members over on B at the moment. And we have a little bit of pre-fire, but that does make the Eternity
nice
members
flash.
position. No. Nice flash, as you said. Mindbaker does get taken out, and now Proof is in a 1 versus 2 as he gets a headshot onto Waffle. Sleep getting taken out by Proof as well. Brings it back to a 1 versus 1. Big Mac does have the HP, is on the full wrap here over through B short, but, you know.
And armor.
Yeah. But, and they do have their ult here, which they could consider using. We do see the eye scan go up, trying to see where this last player is, and Proof is out in the middle of the open. But, Big Mac going to be running around, but doesn't matter as Proof able to get the headshot and is able to get the 1 versus 3 clutch, giving Eternity their first round.
I mean, they really needed it. Like I said, they need at least a few on the attack so that when it comes to the side swap, it's not all about just the pistol round. And so now, with at least 1 on the board, they have avoided that. It does not come down to a single pistol round on a side swap, and they have a little bit of a cushion, so to speak, but not a lot. With 1 point, still really not enough. They've got a few more rounds in the half. They need to win essentially all of them.
Yeah, I mean, and it can't be reliant on somebody, you know, getting a 1 versus 3 clutch. I mean, that was a good performance there, but as we say that, Sleet able to pick off Mindbaker, and they're looking for the second one. They're actually getting a little bit hungry here, trying to get the aggressive play, but, you know, that's because they used their ult there, and so they were able to get that information that, you know, one player's over towards the right, and I don't know what other info they got, but Big Mac able to pick off the ace as well, and now a 3 versus 5 for Eternity to try to make something happen here. They're taking over towards B long here, and we do see shield go up there, but even then, I mean, look at this map control that Eclipse have gotten over on the A side. You can kind of see far away that they're already wrapping Eternity, and so Eternity losing map control without even really realizing it too much. But 55 seconds left. They're trying to make something happen, and they are about to get flanked. Dan does pick the kill onto Sleep, trying to see if maybe they can make it a second. No damage actually going on to the one player, interestingly enough. 43 seconds. Siphon does get planted. Eclipse waiting to set up for retake as Hazmat is able to take off Dan. And now a 2 versus 4 hold here. 1 versus 4, as I say. And Bent now in a 1 versus 3. Picks off 1, trying to figure out where the others are, but Waffle able to get the kill. And Eclipse able to pick off their 5th round.
Getting closer and closer to the half being finished. We actually come up now on the final round of the half before we do swap sides and reset the economies. And this is where you spend all the cash that you have left. You get everything you can put, everything you can throw at your opponent. And in Eternity's case, you really want that second point. You really want to add on to the padding you have, because ultimately you also don't want to end up potentially losing the pistol round and then having a disadvantage going into that round too, because you don't have that cash off of a round win like your opponent does. So still, even 1 point, not necessarily a comfortable cushion for them going into the side swap.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-round deficit in this game, kind of hard to make up, but Ace does get that opening frag onto Waffle there, which is good for Eternity there as they try to take this A site, but Trev with a nicely placed headshot as Big Mac also getting the kill on a Mindbaker, and Proof losing a lot of health in that process as well. Trev takes out Proof as well, and we do have another Eternity player trying to get aggressive, but Big Mac shuts that down, and now it's Dynamite versus 4, who immediately gets caught out, and just like that, Eclipse up 6-1.
Looking good, too, going into the side swap. This series could be done in 45 minutes. A sub-hour best of 3 with how well this Eclipse squad is performing here. And not what I expected for our semifinal series. Quite frankly, I did anticipate Eternity to put up quite a bit better of a contest this afternoon. Maybe we're going to see them spring alive here on defense. The side swap could mean a lot on this map. But, I mean, Eclipse are really dominating here. And, if anything, putting a little fear in whoever is going to be going up against them out of that loser's bracket.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, we do have Rect versus Acer later on tonight, which should be a very good match. Both those teams, very experienced. And before I could even get into that, Mindbaker getting traded out, but does get the kill onto Hazmat as Eclipse looking to do a fast B play here. They do get onto the site. They do spot the one player over towards B long, but now that player on B long has to take that 1v1. Ace gets a headshot. Dynamite and Ace getting another kill there, and now it's Sleet versus 4 with 25 HP and a Dream. Does pick off one with the Desert Eagle, but Dan shuts that down, and Eternity able to take the pistol round. A much needed round for them in order to, even think about having a comeback.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot to be in, though, off of a pistol win. A little bit of an advantage economy-wise into the next round, so should have a bit more to throw at their opponent on the defense, no less. And so I think they're in a very comfortable spot right now, regardless of the fact that Eclipse are 2 rounds away from advancing on to VRML, and maybe that's something that's kind of lingering in Eclipse's mind right now, is that they are just 2 rounds away from moving on to VRML.
Yeah, I mean, for the Eclipse squad, I mean, that's a big achievement for them, and that's something that I'm sure is kind of driving them right now to, just play it safe, play it cool, and, play it smart ultimately. You don't want to miss out on a chance like that. Big Mac does lose a good amount of health. Sleet actually getting taken out by Ace there. And again, this is an eco round for Eclipse here, so they're not going to have too much money. So they're going to be at a disadvantage guns-wise, as we see Big Mac getting healed there by Trev. But they are looking to set up for an A take here. But even then, I mean, Eternity, they get that first kill completely uncontested, no damage done to them either. And it's, it could be their round, but I don't want to speak anything into existence too soon.
Ooh, a nice pickup from Ace Key to keep them in that kill lead, and if anything, extend it 5v3 now. A nice pickup over the top. Ace finds another. Waffle going down, and another for Ace. I think that was 3 on the round as they go up 10-7, and maybe this is Eternity clawing their way back into this series. Maybe this is Eternity taking a second map and pushing us to a map 3 decider. At the very least, they have the starting elements of the of a comeback here, and the momentum does seem to be on their side off of a side swap, putting them back onto defense very clearly into a spot where they're comfortable. A similar sort of onus now falls on Eclipse that fell onto Eternity earlier, where they really got to win at least 1 or 2 attacking rounds here.
For sure, and we do see that ult get used by, I'm not sure who it was there over on short, but then again, the Jesper wall, Jesper Eye coming out right now, and we're seeing another fast B take. Sleet actually using their ult and does get taken out, but that's the ult, so they're able to get that second chance. Bent picking up a double right away. Got to be stopping this B aggression here. We still have 2 players on the Eclipse side over on B long, and then 1 over towards the short path there. And again, gunfight comes out. Waffle takes out Proof, but Mindbaker able to get that refrag. Eternity finally able to figure that sort of business out. Minute 5, and it's looking like Eclipse are trying to consider a rotate of some sort. They're, right on each other. 55 seconds left, and if they want to rotate all the way over to A, they don't have too much time to do it, but maybe trying to see if maybe one of these Eternity players gets a little bit overzealous and maybe a little bit kill hungry. But then again, they might even just consider saving here, trying to keep their economy afloat going into this late game.
Yeah, we haven't seen many saves, but there have been some in the postseason, so definitely not a unknown strategy. And yeah, you're right, they are going to tuck in. They're going to hold on to their rifles. When you're at this stage, when you are just 2 rounds away from taking a series and advancing on to VRML Con, every dollar does feel important. Every credit feels important. Every investment you make, you want to carry through. So, the pressure is on, and maybe we wouldn't have seen this in regular season, quite frankly. I don't know that Hazmat and Sleetso would have taken maybe they would have taken the 2v4 instead, or tried for a rotation. But the safe route and the most economically safe route is to go for the eco, hold on to their rifles, carry them through to the next round so that they have money to invest in maybe some hero abilities or help buy utility for the rest of their teammates. It's all calculated economy management at the end of the day, and it's only something you get when you're at this high of a competitive level in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I would think Eclipse are especially trying to play for the late game here, because you don't want to be in economic shambles in the late game. But Dynamite actually getting aggressive, using their ult there to get an early pick onto Waffle. A good start for Eternity there. Is once again Eclipse looking to go for B. The ult gets canceled. The Mindmaker able to take out Hazmat.
Sleetso fighting back as well, getting headshots onto the ace, but this is another dominant round for Eternity on defense, absolutely shutting down Eclipse, who are finding no safe routes, no optimal pushes through into any of these sites so far this afternoon. And Dynamite finding Trev does put Sleet alone in a 1v4 with 50 seconds left. I wonder if we're going to see another eco here. Maybe they'll hold on to that rifle, carry it through. I don't think a siphon plant is in the cards for him.
I mean, again, with 20 HP, and we do see a player, I think, dropping there again. It's probably best for them to try to, at least see what they can do. But ultimately speaking, I mean, 20 health, try to save the weapon, try to buy some time there, and Eternity just really holding it down. I think Danny got either a 3K or a 4K, so he's really starting to pick it up, and maybe the words of encouragement through the cast are getting to Eternity at this point. So,
man, taking a look at the KDs, the leaders on the Eclipse side there, with Sleetso going 11 and 5, and on Eternity, Ace at 10 and 8. Both leaders into the double digits. The second kill leader, Waffle, also into double digits at 10. And man, sometimes these final rounds are the hardest rounds to secure. Eclipse against Eternity in the regular season did take it to 3 maps, despite a lot of rounds being in favor of Eclipse and them winning the overall series. It does mean that at least one map was won by Eternity the last time they played. So, very well could see that happening here again. Eternity clawing back off of a 6-1 deficit, are now 6 and 5.
Yeah, I mean, Mindmaker does get taken out by Sleep there, and it's looking like Eclipse are going heavy towards the middle part of the map, maybe looking to see if they can lean towards A, as 2 rounds of B failed by them. Maybe it's time to switch something up, and we do see them going over into the A connector, and this one Eternity player going to be pinched here, as Ace is able to take out Trev there. Proof also able to get a kill. Ace picks up yet another kill there, so all of a sudden from a 4 versus 5 to a 4 versus 2, Proof bringing it to a 4-1 just like that. And now Sleep, the man who gets the opening pick, now has to try to find all 4 or do something here within the next 55 seconds. But even then, I mean, it's going to be a bit hard. They pick up 1, but Ace able to get that refrag. And Eternity, for the first time in this entire series, have tied it up 6-6. They have clawed their way back, and you got to wonder what's going to happen in these next 2 rounds.
I mean, This could be the map into Eternity's hands. If they can take these next 2 rounds, we won't go to any overtime, won't be any extra rounds. It'll be the map into their palms, and we advance on. In comparison, it could be the same way for Eclipse. If they take these next 2 rounds, they guarantee their advancement on to VRML Con in July 20th and 21st.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they were down 1-6 or 2-5 or whatnot, and Eternity have brought it back 6-6. So they are on the path to victory here. Mindbaker does try to go for the information there, but is unable to win the gunfight. But as I say that, Waffle getting cut down by 3 different players. Band picking up yet another player. We already have an Eternity player on the flank, and so now Eclipse have completely lost map control. Eternity know exactly where Eclipse are. They are completely stuck here. Wall goes up onto B short, which keeps Trev there, and so Big Mac gets cut down, and now Trev against all 5, and just like that, Trev holds on for a little bit, but the rest of Eclipse knowing exactly where Trev is, they're about to walk into a crossfire, and just like that, Proof able to get the kill on Trev, and now Eternity up 7-6. They are 1 round away from winning map number 2 and bringing this to a map number 3.
Man, what a side swap. I like I said, it can happen. You can go real strong onto one side. Swap, and then, I mean, gosh, they're thankful that they managed to get that 1 attacking round at this point, because it would be otherwise, they would have had to go to overtime, I think, or they would have it's play the what if game, but they are now in the lead. They are now at map point. They are just a round away from pushing us into a 3rd map for this series decider, and definitely taking this longer than 45 minutes for a best of 3.
For sure. And I mean, you could see Eclipse, they have very much slowed down the pace. They don't want any opening picks to go the way of Eternity. They want to try to keep control of this, but these past victory rounds from Eternity, they seem to be the ones truly in control right now. But it's definitely looking like Eclipse are less confident. You could see that immediate mood shift. You lose a few rounds in a row, and now all of a sudden you're playing it really, really slow. I mean, they've already used up like almost a minute here, and they only have a minute left of this round. They're going to walk together through mid there, and Ace is able to pick off 1, but Trev does get the refrag. So still a 4-on-4, and still technically in favor of Eclipse, but Big Mac, Mindbaker does go down as well there too. 4 seconds left, and they're going to be able to walk onto B site, and this is looking like it's going to be a retake situation for Eternity, but we do have Bent over in the B long section, or B main, and Bent looking to try to see if they can pick off a kill. Actually, that's Dynamite, excuse me. I thought it was Bent, but Dan picks off 2, and now it's at 2 versus 2. And Eternity are going to be shifting in, but Dan could be caught off at the wrong time as Big Mac is able to take off Dan. And now it's 1 versus 2, Bent versus Hazmat and Big Mac. But Big Mac is only 5 HP, so if Hazmat gets taken out here, that could spell trouble for Big Mac to try to clutch this out. But Siphon is planted. Time is running short. The Jesper wall once again is up, and Bent has to try to find the 1 player, finds Big Mac, and now it's Hazmat versus Bent, and Bent is going to try to go for the Siphon defuse, and Hazmat, just like that, gets the molly and the kill onto Bent, and we have an overtime here.
A tie, map 2 is 7-7. Eternity aren't out of the woods yet, and what could have been a beautiful comeback ends in a tie, and we now swap sides. They go on to the attack, Eclipse back onto defense. For those not in the know, the colors stay the same, and the team names stay on the same side. Nothing swaps there other than what side they're actually starting on, and if they're attacking or defending. That's how overtime works. So we should swap after this to then having Eclipse defending and Eternity attacking for the next round, despite who wins or loses, as we do get into these extra rounds here for map number 2.
Sure, and we could see Eternity kind of doing the same thing. They're taking it nice and slow through mid. They're trying to see what map control they can get. Ace able to pick up the kill on the Hazmat there, so a good start for Eternity there. Bennett takes a little bit of damage, but does catch Trev there. So 2 opening picks going the way of Eternity here as they're looking to go over towards the A site to try to execute here. Ace taking a lot of damage, actually getting taken out by Big Mac, and no refrags going the way of Eternity as Waffle able to pick up the frag. And now we've brought it back to a 3-on-2 as Proof is able to get the kill onto Waffle, and now Big Mac kind of in trouble as they have a player flanking, from their spawn. Big Mac does get taken out, and now it's up to Sleet to try to hold on here for this overtime round. But as I say that, Dynamite on presumably, an off position or whatnot, steals around for Eternity, and now they swap sides. So now Eternity going to be on the defense, and Eclipse going to be on the offense from what it's looking like. Yes.
Yes, that's how it works. Eclipse attack now, and Eternity defend. Eclipse are the ones trying to plant the siphon now, and Eternity are trying to prevent it. And again, it just doesn't change the UI side when we swap. So the teams don't swap sides, and they don't swap colors. So it kind of keeps that same frame of reference for you to know that the blue team is Eclipse, and the pinkish red team is Eternity.
And once again, look at this. Eclipse haven't even left their spawn. They are taking it very slow. For Eternity to win, an attacking round there has to be big, as, they only won 1 attacking round in the first half of the game. So this is truly something that, Eternity, needed in this game number 2 to try to keep things going. But Eclipse, they're just taking it nice and slow, not trying to overcommit to any fights. They're trying to see what map control they can get, very similar to what we saw from Eternity last round. We do have the wall over in mid, 1:05 left as well, and no shots have even been fired yet. But as I say that, Waffle does get taken out by Bent there, so another opening pick going the way of Eternity. They're looking to go over towards the A site here. 45 seconds left, so Eclipse don't have a lot of time to really act. Hazmat does take out Ace, so that is going to be Eclipse's opening pick there. Sleet Pit taking out Bent. Hazmat getting brought all the way down to 2 HP, as we can see over in the health bar there, but going to be getting healed. And the Siphon is going to be planted over on the A site in a 3 versus 4 retake situation for Eternity here. But Trev gets taken out by Mindbaker, who places a nice headshot. Proof getting another kill on a Big Mat. And now it's Hazmat versus Sleet in a 1 versus 3 to try to hold on for game number 2. And Sleet has made their way into the defender spawn, perhaps unbeknownst. Gets the pick onto Mindbaker, trying to look for the second kill there. Picks off the second kill onto Proof. And now 1 versus 1, Dynamite versus Sleet. Siphon's playing it, so they don't really have that much time to work with.
Oh, the clutch! We're still here. We're still in map 2. Eclipse are not letting go, as the scoreboard doesn't even know what to do with the current score line. We'll just, we'll have a winner soon enough. But right now, it is I think the most overtime rounds I've gone into in a cast, and we're into round 17. We swap sides again, so Eclipse go back to defense, Eternity back on the attack, and we do it all over again until eventually one team leads by 2.
Yeah, so again, we can see some opening shots coming out from Eternity. They are, again, trying to take control of this mid, and it's looking like this is going to kind of be the play from both of these teams going into, these overtime rounds. They want to play it carefully. They don't want to, take any unnecessary risks, but, in that, I mean, they burn up a lot of time on the offense.
Yeah, it does slow you down. You're not seeing consecutive abilities flying out or any real aggressive plays that have been working for the likes of both teams, quite frankly. And we do see them all kind of stack together, use their abilities, coordinate their pushes in. It's a little bit different. But as you continue to chip away at each other with economy trades back and forth on the wins and losses, it becomes hard and less practiced in terms of economy management.
Yeah, we do see two Eternity players going over towards the A site, kind of off in the distance, but at the same time, I mean, we have a couple Eternity players over in mid, so I mean, they're trying to take whatever map control they can really muster, and these two Eternity players, well, Mindbaker gets taken out right away. Proof taking a little bit of damage there as they try to make things happen, but Sleet takes out Ace. Dynamite answers right back as well, so they've brought it back to a 3 versus 3 here. 25 seconds left. Trav takes out Bend as they try to get the Siphon down. The Siphon does get planted. Sleet takes out Proof, and now it's Dynamite versus 3, who Dynamite is over in the spawn, gets taken out by Trev, and Eclipse going to take the third overtime round. They are really holding on for dear life here.
It gets closer and closer every round. It's Eclipse now, 1 point away from advancing on to VRML Con. We're not even talking about a best of 3 anymore now. And Eclipse just need to win this attacking half. The attacking halves really seem to be the thorn in the side of the Yellowhead. It seems to be the toughest thing to do on this map in particular.
For sure, yeah. Even what's funny is that the first overtime we had, both teams won their attacking right. So I don't know what's what anymore, if we're going to be completely honest. But nevertheless, Eternity have to try to make something happen here in order to stay in this. But we do see Eclipse are now on the attack, so now they have the challenge of trying to break through. We do see them trying to shoot down the wall over on B short here. Big Mac does get a little bit of damage on them, and look at this over on the Eternity side of things. They're already flanking through mid, but perhaps somebody on Eclipse has heard this as the Ace gets taken out, but at the same time, Trev gets taken out as well, bringing it back to a 4-on-4. Mindbaker and Bent both picking up kills, and now it's Waffle and Big Mac to try to make something happen here. Both players stuck over on that E main. Minute left, and we might
this
be
map. We're going to go like
one.
26 rounds maybe. Who knows? We're just going to keep going until maybe we get to Acer versus Rect in 2 hours from now. At this pace, we may never have a map 2 winner, continuing to go deeper and deeper into overtime. And we may see I was going to say, is it an eco coming in? I don't know how much cash they're getting each round now in these overtime rounds, but I don't know that they need to hold on to the extra cash. The swing coming in from the side, their position very much given away, as Bent also pushing through. We stay tied, Yellow Hat 9-9. Another round, another side swap, and it's around 19 now in map 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think they reset to 4,500 at the beginning of each overtime is what I'm looking, or what I think I'm seeing. Not sure though, but again, 9-9. I mean, we're in triple overtime at this point. I mean,
yeah,
crazy match, and we have 2 ults over on the Eternity side and 2 ults over on the Eclipse side of things. So one of those ults does get used by Dynamite to try to early scout what the setup is over on the Eclipse side, and they're going to again be taking it nice and slow over presumably towards this A site with a tad bit of mid control.
Man, the triple overtime. Only in the postseason do you get something like this. Never have I had this many rounds in overtime, and it's awesome to see these two teams when it's all on the line. $1,000 in cash, $700 for first place, $300 for second, and a trip out to VRML Con all on the line. Well, every round matters, every pick matters, every peak matters a little bit more than it did during the regular season.
Yeah, Hazmat picking up a double, and Waffle picking up the kill on the Dan. Mindbaker does get the kill on the Hazmat just like that. The reward for picking up some positioning there, as Trev does pick off Mindbaker. Proof getting the trade, and now a 1 versus 2. Proof does have their ult though, and they may or may not want to consider using it. And it's looking like this Eclipse defense is leaning over towards the B site. We do have one player sitting over on B, and the other one over in the defender spawn. It looks like
the wall.
Ooh, Proof dodging some shots. 25 seconds left. Jesper wall does go up, and right through the wall there as Eclipse pick up their 10th round.
Great read from G the Big Mac there, and we go again to series point. one attacking win away. Eclipse are right now as we go 10-9. A normal round, a normal map, is won after 8 rounds. But we win 7-7, and since then have continued to trade back and forth, leading us here to round 20 in this series.
At this point, it's like we're going for double regulation time. Sleet and Mindbreaker both picking up kills there, as Dan also losing a good chunk of health. So Eclipse do have the health advantage, as an aggressive play was made over towards mid. Mindbreaker does pick off Sleet. No trade to happen there. Molly does go out from Hazmat. A good read from them as they pick off Mindbreaker. And now a 3 versus 3. So even trades going the way of both teams. Big Mac picks off Bent. This could be the end unless we decide we want to go to quadruple overtime. But we'll see if that actually happens. All 3 Eclipse players together trying to make something happen here, and we see Proof trying to go in between bits of cover. Proof picks off one, Hazmat picks off Proof, and now it's Dan on 25 HP and a dream to try to make something happen here, and Dan is slowly making their way over towards the A site, but don't want to count him out now. But Eclipse, this might be the round that finally gives them 5 plane tickets and a well-paid trip to Denver. Dan gets spotted out. Both players going to be falling back. They're going to try to trade each other out.
2 kills here. Man, the heart. I can't imagine it has to be racing right now. The only benefit is if Eternity do lose, they go on to play tomorrow, as they still have another series to compete for a chance. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to move on to play against the winner of Acer versus Rec tomorrow, and Eclipse have qualified in as one of the 2 teams to get a free trip out to Denver, Colorado. Congratulations to Team Eclipse. Standout performance, to say the least. They definitely came in strong in map 1 with a very dominant opening set there, 8-3, and then map 2 taking us to 20 rounds of overtime, Yellow Hat, but eventually dubbing Eclipse as our champion. And, well, again, only one of 2 finalists that's going to advance on to play live at VRML Con July 20th and 21st.
Yeah, I mean, that second match is definitely what I think everybody more so expects to see when it comes to, the top 4 teams. And, props to both teams for delivering. I mean, Eternity, even despite being down 6-1 and down a game, they claw their way back all the way and tied up the first time. They even take the lead in some instance, and then Eclipse, they're able to hold on just for that little bit extra, and they take the edge over Eternity and they win it. And again, as you mentioned, they came in strong. They were getting their opening picks really consistently, and they were going uncontested for a lot of those. I mean, we don't have say the stats of the opening fight wins for each team, but even then, I mean, that's the fact that they're able to get these opening picks, go uncontested, that allows them, on their offense to really just swarm a site. And you saw them get aggressive on some instances. And even Eternity, too, really took that advantage. And we saw Eternity, even on their defense, they're going for the flanks. They're trying to take that map control away from Eclipse. And on a few rounds, they did a really good job of that. But ultimately, I mean, Eclipse able to take it on. And, it'll be exciting to see them in Denver try to fight for the first place title.
Yep, indeed. We get to meet some of these players, some players that I'm familiar with in the VRML for, multiple seasons in other games. So it should be a lot of fun. Hats off again to the Eclipse squad. I do want to see if we can get them in for a quick chat, so do bear with me here for a moment. 1 second. Who is the captain? Eventide. Join general for a quick. See if we can get Eventide in for a quick chat. Hopefully they're able to join. We can pull them up.
Post-game interview.
Yeah, that would be that would be nice. We'll have to see though, so do bear with us. I do see them in. Let me actually just do a quick call with them because I don't want to jump into an open channel there. So Yellow Hat will be right. Maybe we can add you. I'm just gonna call Event Tide. We're gonna ask them some questions.
So.
Event Tide, congratulations. Happy to have you here for an interview. One of the players on Eclipse, one of 2 teams advancing on to VRML Con. How does it feel coming off of a crazy 20-round map 2?
Hey, I'm honestly thrilled, but I can't say I'm all that surprised. I mean, we've had the match history going for us that whole time.
Yep.
Even in scrims, I don't think we've ever lost to Eternity, but it was certainly well fought, especially on that second map. I really enjoyed seeing both teams excelling to their respective strengths. I mean, you saw
Oh yeah.
Eclipse with a heavily dominant first side, and then immediately on the when they had to switch the offense, that's when then Eternity came back. And it was just really cool to see, even going into such a long, drawn-out overtime.
Oh man.
Yeah.
A great send-off, I suppose. They're not out of it yet, though. You may see them in a rematch at VRML Con. That could be a reality as they'll go and challenge the winner of Rect versus Acer, which is later today. But I want to get your feelings. How are you feeling now, having made it to VRML Con? How does it feel to be playing your finals live on stage July 20th and 21st?
It is a huge relief because there's been a lot of buildup of just anxiety and emotion going into this, and I'm so glad that we're finally here.
Yeah, again, congratulations to you. What's the preparation going to look like? Are you going to take a little bit of a break before you start to get into the practice scrims for the finals?
I don't think there's much need to do that.
All right. I like to hear it. Again, congratulations to you. Any shout-outs to anyone in the community, anything like that, before we let you go?
Yeah, actually, I would like to thank Aeronite, captain of Acer, because I don't think our team would be where we are now if it hadn't been for Acer being willing to regularly scrim us. And I think it's actually improved both of our teams quite a bit. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we see him in finals here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that kind of who you're hoping to go up against at VRML Con?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Thanks again, Event Tide, for jumping in and taking a quick chat with me.
No problem.
Congratulations again to you. I'm looking forward to meeting you. We'll be shaking hands in person in less than a month's time from now, so congrats again.
Sounds good. All right, I'll see you then.
One of our champions qualifying in, and again, congratulations to them for advancing on through to the grand finals. Yellow Hat, your final thoughts on the day, or on at least game 1 of 2. We still have Acer and Rect coming up later today.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely have a lot of thoughts going on right now, but it definitely was good seeing all these high-level teams playing X8 today, and I'm very excited, to see whichever team between Acer versus Rect is going to be playing over at the VRML Con. I mean, knowing a lot of these players, both on the Rect side and the Acer side, I mean, they're all insane at VR.
Hey, Eternity's still in the mix too. They're going to be playing tomorrow against the winner of Acer versus Rect, so they still get one more chance in that loser's bracket because it is that double elimination tournament. So they're not out just yet, but yeah, it is a crazy pool for who is going to be that second team, but congratulations to Eclipse. That's going to be it for us here for game 1 of 2 this afternoon. Eternity Acer versus Rex starts in 2 hours from now, roughly. Pre-show should be up a little bit sooner then, so do be sure to tune in and catch all of the action. But that is it for me here on the desk. A quick shout out to our sponsors, in particular Third Verse for creating X8 and then sponsoring VRML, providing us with that $1,000 in the cash prize pool and enabling us to fly out the top 2 teams to play live at VRMLCon. A tremendous opportunity that's only possible because of their support. So again, a big thank you to Third Verse for supporting us there. It means a lot and it goes a long way. I think the convention is going to be a fantastic way to wrap up this season, the debut season no less for X8. But again, that's it for me. My name is Ben Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Yellow Hat. We will see you all later tonight for Acer versus Rec. But until then, stay classy. VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.